Boy, that escalated quickly.
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I glitching? My computer is glitching and I'm irritable about it. Let me know. Yes. Ms. PG King, which one? Yes. Do I sound okay? I'm I don't like it when my things don't work right. Can hear you loud and proud. Thank you, Melly Jewel. Okay, good. All right. Hi. 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 Good to see you. There were like 50 souls in the chat chatting away before I even started. Like, you guys don't even wait for the notification. I'm 10 minutes late. Like, shout out Nurse Kim. Time is an illusion. No, we had meet the teacher tonight. So I had to go do that. I met three teachers. Yeah. So school starts on Wednesday. So I will be out of my mind on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And yeah, it is what it is. And then all hell breaks loose. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We we have a lot to talk about. Honestly, I feel like today's Monday. I went on J7 yesterday. Was on with Jess yesterday. Nothing on Saturday. Okay, it just feels like it's been a while. I mean, I guess it has. It was the weekend. Um, but everybody's losing their fucking minds going live. I can't keep up. So, yes, I know Arkansas Bestie is like doing whatever she's doing, blowing shit up. Um yeah, I can't keep up. I need to focus on this particular live, which is Ray for Dallas with Oceans. And then we will move on from there. This interview was like 3.5 hours, 4 hours, ridiculously long. I don't even think I've seen every minute of it. So unfortunately, I'm going to need you to bear with me. We're going to have to get through this. I will skip as much as I can. I will only address, what pertains to me. Uh, we can skip over the rest of the stuff. I think J7, she went over part of it. Uh, I don't like it when that happens. Um, so yeah, we can skip over J7 and TB. I mean, anything that she addressed me, I would like to correct the record because obviously there were some half truths, some lapse of memory, and flat out lies. So there are a couple of things that I wasn't able to retrieve. One of them is um, a date, and I asked Scott if he could help me. And I see Scott's in the chat. So, Scott, I better have a date in my text message. I don't. I need to know the date that I told Scott I had a conversation with Oceans, the conversation, and it went well. Well, he asked me, how did it go? And I said, it went well, surprisingly. I would like to know that date because I'm going to have to start figuring out where she started having memory lapses. Um, so yeah, all right. So some random things. Well, actually, what color should we have? Green is kind of cool. Red, because I'm going to be seeing red in my eyes. This one is, we're gonna get close to, I don't, no, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say, this is gonna get close to J7 Rage. This one's gonna upset me a little bit. Should we keep it as red? uh, yeah. Um, we'll just keep it at red. So I think this is my first live since closing the week out at the Jess Machado show as guest producer. I have posted a wide variety of thank yous, and I still feel like I still need to say thank you. I posted a post today on the YouTube channel here. I especially what I wanted to do is I wanted to let you guys know that like I could see your comments last night in J7's show. Was it last night? Fucking shit, man. Like I can't even I can't get my day straight. Yes, it was last night. I was seeing all of the comments in J7's chat, and I wish I could have responded to all of them. You made me feel very special, very beautiful. So thank you. But at the same time, oh, fucking dogs, man. Can you hear my dogs barking? But at the same time, you know, I definitely wanted to touch base with everyone who sort of helped, everyone who co-hosted, and just, you know, give a blanket thank you for all your support, all the positivity. I saw everything. I just could not always reply. Even some of the stuff like suggestions, content ideas, like you guys, that's awesome. I love that. I can't always be. Oh, now my kids are yelling. That's wonderful. I'm live. Oh, you want this? Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, I just blanket thank you. And you know, of course, I totally forgot to write one for the Queen. And so last night I asked her if I could go backstage and go on panel and give her a little thank you, and I did. Uh did you guys catch the reveal of her team? Did you guys catch that, or was that just me? You already knew Spicy Misty was on the team. But did you catch the Moon's reference? Was it just me? Okay. Some of you did. Okay. Okay. I was like, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe yeah. I know many of you already had a feeling. It's just one of those things, you know, like I couldn't say anything. I couldn't admit to it. Um and yeah, I didn't. But she has said in, I think it was the last week before she left, that she really hoped and wished that she could reveal our identities. Like she was feeling a certain way, like she was feeling grateful or whatever. And I think she was also feeling like this was coming, we were like putting this behind us, and she was able to see the light. And so I think that was sort of, you know, giving her this feeling of, I feel so much gratitude to these ladies. You know, I wish I could say it publicly. Um, and I think now she's feeling a little bit more safer. And so she did. And she had already said Spicy Misty. So it was just me. There is one other woman who does not want to be named, and we will keep it that way. But anyways, yeah, she totally revealed it last night. And I wrote in the chat, I was like, gig is up. So anyways, my ADHD medicine is wearing off because I can't stay on topic. So last week, obviously, grateful, thankful. Don't say sorries, Jess. Don't say sorries. No, it's actually better. It's better this way because I hate keeping secrets. It's fine. You know, I think we knew for a period of time that it was for her safety, for her protection, you know. And I'm sure also she needed to get to a point to where, you know, she was probably asking herself, can I really trust these ladies? And I think we proved that to her, so it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Although I do have to say, these bitches, they're, texting all fucking day, right? And I can't keep up. Oh, and I went back to work today. So, full-time job. I was off all last week. So, full-time job. This is only from 4 p.m. I have 72 notifications on one group chat. They're constantly, we'll call it working, constantly. So I guess what I need to know, is there anything I need to know? So anyways, yes, they are amazing. Last week, a lot of what you saw was not 100% me. So like thumbnails, my outline, it was almost like I had my mini producer in the back that you guys didn't know about. They were so helpful. And in addition to that, they were, doing what we do best, which is always having eyes in different streams, documenting things, protecting Jess at the end of the day. So, yeah. So last week was great. Closed it out. She hasn't revoked my access yet, so I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do. Maybe one day I'll just like try and sign in and she'll change the password or something. I don't know. Thank you, Jess. Thank you for your 10. Love you. But last week was fun. Best week ever, even though she wasn't here. It was so good to see her back yesterday. I hope you're feeling better, Jess. She was very sick. I think we could all sort of tell she was, maybe she had a cold or something last night. And we were really worried, or I was worried that she wasn't going to make court today. Like a week off, she was not in court 2 days prior to her week off. So this is now 8 days of court that she's missed. And that sucks, like that just sucks. So I hope you're feeling better. And I hope it's something serious, I mean, what's serious these days? Like COVID, the flu. I don't know. I hope it's quick and painless. I do have a favor to ask. Those of you that do not have premium, can you tell me, have you noticed a difference in Jess's ads that run during her episodes? True Crime Fangirl has told me for a couple of days actually last week that she was like, can you turn off the ads? And sometimes she says like the replay ads. So like it's only on replay. I'm not really sure. I have premium, so I never see ads. So what I'd like you guys to tell me is, are you seeing an increase? Like while I was there as guest producer, did you see an increase in ads? And if so, at what point in the episode? There's a setting on StreamYard, and then there's a default in YouTube Studio, and you guys don't want to know all this shit, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe I picked something different than what Jess picked. I have no idea. So I'm just kind of curious if anyone else is noticing an increase in ads. Last night, her Sunday stream was scheduled by me. So, of course, I set it up in StreamYard. So last night would have been the same thing. It would have, if I messed something up as far as ads, it would have shown. Silly. Yeah. So Silly says she doesn't have premium, but she doesn't get ads during the live. Last week I had no ad during the live. Okay. So I kind of have a feeling it might be on replay, which is weird because I don't think I've ever seen a setting dedicated to replay, but who knows? J7, thank you so much. 5 memberships. Thank you. If you got one, please thank her. Hello, Ray. Hello. You're overthinking the team thing. I always assumed you were part of it. You were right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, I've always created content for Jess. I've always supported her through thick and thin. And I consider myself a very loyal person. Um, you know, it was just like during that like really ugly time, and you could definitely tell Aiden was triggered by Jess having a team. They hate it. They hate it. They know that they don't have the same surrounding them. They don't have the same, cheerleaders in their corner that protect them through thick and thin, and she actually does. And you know what's interesting is this team is almost perfection. Like I bring my um positives, my what are they called? My I can't think of it. My brain is not working. I bring certain skills and talents, right? So does Misty. Yes. J7, you read my mind. And the other team member, same thing. And they're all different. And so when we come together, it's a really good match. We work really well together. We don't always agree. We didn't agree today. And we're not afraid to tell each other we don't agree, So it's a good team. Love those ladies. So today we are going to go over, like I said, Oceans on Ray for Dallas. I don't know how much we're going to get through it. I would love to get through all of it, but I know J7's going on in 30 minutes. I got FOMO. I can't miss it. There's just something about that chat. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much we get through. Intro video. We have a new intro video. Amy, engineer Amy, I did not get your video clip in time for version 2, but I will do my best to get it added so that you are included. But everyone else, crossing my fucking fingers that I didn't miss anybody. If I did, don't slay me and start a YouTube channel and start shitting on me. Okay? It's done. We have about 9-ish new bunnies in the video. 9, 10, I think. It was on Facebook, Scott. I think we have 9 or 10 new people. We have a VIP appearance, a very VIP, and I'm pretty sure she's in the beginning. I don't even make you wait. There's less appearance of J7. I'm sorry, J7. J7 was spammed throughout the entire intro video. That's probably why, one of the many reasons why Arkans, how do you say her name? Arkasness is pissed off. But anyways, there's less J7 and Kane. Did you guys know that we have a smoking hot pair of sisters, blondes? Of course, all of you are blondes. In the community. Did you know this? Did anybody know this? Arkasness. I'll get it right, Laura. I'll get it right. I see one of them in the chat. Oh, they're both here. Am I getting it right? Are you guys both here? I know I see one. It takes me a while to remember like handles and names and faces, and I get it wrong a lot. Yeah. I think, yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're both here. So yeah, they have an appearance. It might be my most favorite clip of the entire thing. They did a really good job. Very creative, smoking hot. You're gonna love it. Also, there are so many minor details that were changed, updated, improved. One of them is actually in my clip. So I don't want to give, I almost want to create like a bingo card. And see who can find all of them. But there's some fun details that were changed and added. So yeah. So I uploaded it to StreamYard for Jess yesterday. Hopefully she'll play it if she goes to court tomorrow. I won't spoil any of the fun. So should we do this? I guess we have to do this. All right. So I saw, I think about 72% of you did not see this interview. So I apologize now that we are going to watch as much as we can today. But, what I'd like to do is just sort of set the record straight. I thought I already did that, but obviously it wasn't what she wanted to hear. Like I said, there were a lot of half truths, lies, lapse in memory. And we can talk about it. So, you did, like I said, you did see some of it on J7, but I'm going to try and focus on just the pieces that, she spoke about me directly, and then we'll go from there. All right. So, one of the many things I love about Race Channel is the music. So we're going to start off. Let me share my screen. Like I said, my computer is not behaving. So it's very glitchy. It's almost like my mouse isn't working, but I use my trackpad and my mouse, and they're both like glitchy. It's annoying. Okay, so we're going to start off with a little bit of Ray's intro because it's a vibe. He also has songs that, gosh, I'm gonna say this wrong. It's like Pretty Kooky. She does songs as well. Amazing talent. If you think my songs are great, hers are even better. I need to stop saying so much. All right. From Dallas, tell me true, are you the myth or the man I knew? This dude is savage as fuck. That's it.
Man,
there's another one. Maybe that was it.
For coming things was said and why to do, which I said about Jimmy.
Yeah, this is high quality production here. Jesus.
A lot to go with that, right? And it's going to be a lot of questions, some may be difficult, but when we're giving a valid truth journey, you're going to have difficult questions, right? So first off, how's everything been?
Oh, that's kind of a loaded question. Life is good. life is fine. I used to have a YouTube channel. I don't anymore. There's been a lot of things said about me that, we can get into. I don't know. I have addressed some of it. The problem is when you're on X, not everybody sees what you have written or how you've answered people or who you've talked to, So anyway, I also feel.
All right. So right off the bat, she's portraying herself as a victim, and that was a pattern. Now, I guess what bothers me with this statement is like, it's how you live your life every day, day in, day out. It's not what you post on social media. So I don't know what she's talking about. Like, people don't see her posts. I don't know. But it also kind of triggers something else in my memory, which is I always felt like, like if this is her opinion about her own posts on X, then it's probably the same or similar for everyone else on X. Like she constantly felt a need to see as much as possible, ingest as much as possible, share with me as much as possible. And that was like one of the problems in terms of, things not getting done for the channel, time management, things like that. So I was actually kind of shocked that she said that, but whatever. I'm going to turn off.
I also feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, but again, people can feel free to make up their mind however they want to.
And I definitely agree with that. I want to get into some tough questions first, because I want everybody to know, me and you, we are good, right?
Yep.
And
yes,
we talked, so, but like I said, we have to get into some tough questions, right? Because I love this community, right? And it's all a part of it when you're doing the truth journey. I know about you and Ocean and Moons. I was once a moderator there.
Yep.
And we'll get to that. But
Okay.
the main thing that bothered me is the things that y'all had to say about the GOAT, Aiden Corney, calling him Aiden Proctor, which I said about Jimmy, saying he orchestrated Jolene to do what she do. Can you speak on that? And can you tell me why them things were said, and why did, y'all go there like that?
All right. So if you don't understand Texan speak, Ray is in North Texas. I'm in Central Texas. Y'all means you all. Not just Ocean, not just me, both of us. And what's inaccurate in that is that there was no you all in these things. She wrote that comment in JFK's stream about Proctor Aiden. Yes, it was a little bit of a joke on the channel because nobody knew who wrote it, because she wrote it under the channel name. So yes, we did run with it for a couple of days. It, just had a little fun surrounding that. And nobody knew if it was me or her. And later on, I think she admitted to it. As far as I knew, that was a freaking typo, or it needed a comma or something. I don't even know. I have no idea. But obviously it has triggered a lot of people, and people still talk about it. So what was the other thing? Was it Jimmy, or what was the other thing that he brought up? I don't remember. But again, it was something that originated with Ocean, not the both of us.
Well, first of all, Jimmy and I have talked, and I have apologized to Jimmy. I don't know if you've noticed that a lot of people who have been roasted by Jolene have said that they thought Jimmy.
Oh, I think it was the Jolene thing. Was it Jolene? I don't know. But this is actually kind of shocking to me that she has reconnected with Jimmy and she's apologized. It's actually kind of shocking to me. I do remember very distinctly, multiple times, that she was adamant that Jimmy had either a familiar relationship with Jolene, or they were content creator friends. I don't even know what, but she was adamant that Jimmy started the shitting on Jess somehow, some way. Either he sent an email or I don't even know what. I didn't even care. It was happening. I already knew. I already had my rose-colored glasses off. I already knew who were the bad characters in the community. I didn't care. I knew it wasn't me, and I knew it wasn't, Nurse Kim or some, other good human. I even heard it was Val. Like Val sent an email. I don't even know what. But in recent days, hasn't it come out that Ocean contacted Jolene about something? Like she reached out to her? I don't know. Now I do know that Jimmy redirected his stream to Jolene right around the time when all of this started. So again, it's like, I don't know if he started it with an email or a, hey cousin, like, can you do this for me? Or if he just started sending his people there, which we know includes Val and her besties. Maybe that's how it started. I don't know. I don't care. It happened.
I thought Jimmy sent stuff there. So I guess I repeated what I was told, and I didn't know that to be a fact or not, but I did tell him that I knew it wasn't true. And part of that, I think, was that Val was sending stuff, and I really don't want to get Val into any of this because I'm fine with Val. She sent some stuff, or it looked like she did from the tweets that she sent, and somehow that was associated.
I find it so interesting that she's now named Jimmy and Val, and that they're okay. They're good. It's almost as if she's flipped.
With Jimmy, I guess. I don't know exactly. But anyway, like I said, I have talked to Jimmy, and I think
that's good. I just want to know everything is good with you and Jimmy, and you apologize for the misinformation. I just want to know.
Yes.
So what about the GOAT when y'all called him Aiden Proctor?
Okay, so that happened, and I have already explained that.
When y'all called him Aiden Proctor, I wasn't there that night. I didn't write that.
And actually did a recording on that, so I can pull that up for people if they need to see it. But we were in JFK, and that was written on the written up on the front or something, and it was written in the chat with a question mark. Like, what does that mean? And then there was something that followed afterwards. A note, because we actually covered Proctor either that week or the week before, and when it was heard, wasn't sure what that meant or why it was being said. So it was something that shouldn't have been written down because obviously it looked bad to be screenshotted, but there was no intent for anything behind that. And Aiden, again, Valerie sent that to Aiden, and he already said that he didn't care. And, I still regret that it was written or that it was seen in a certain way that wasn't intended, because if you go back and look at the shows that we did that week, we were talking about, I think that's when the Proctor text came out, and that Aiden was supposed to get access to some of them. I'm pretty sure that was part of what we were talking about. So that's basically what happened. It wasn't in any way to put the two of them together in any sort of way.
So I don't understand why she has to go into all of this detail and over-explain when I thought this was a typo. It's just, again, a pattern of behavior, over-explaining, not taking accountability.
Any sort of way.
No, and that's just something I had to ask, but you do regret that happening, right? You have apologized about that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. That's great. It's just something I want to know. And I know it was things said, about a lot of people in this community, especially, the number one person, who put me on is the OG, Will, Will the Glera. There was a lot of things that y'all said about him. Is it regret, and do you apologize for them bad things that you said about OG?
I don't remember what specifically I said about Will. I said that whole show that, in my opinion, that, I don't know, I just feel like things could have been done differently. I felt like I absolutely apologize and would regret it, yes. Because I personally hate that video.
Like I said, when I have made mistakes on here, and I have got on the internet, I hold myself accountable, right? And I think that's the best thing that people could do, just with me and you, like I forgive you.
All right, I want you guys to listen to Ray and what he's saying. Take note.
I forgive people, because I believe in Jesus Christ, of him dying for our sins. And, we all make mistakes, and I get that, and I'm a forgiving person. Just like when me and you had our conversation, that's why it was easy to do that. Now I have more, but I want to get into.
Okay.
I just don't want you to feel like that. I just wanted to break that ice off so everybody can know that this is a real truth journey.
Yeah, I see a comment. I don't know if you want me to address any of these things right now about talking in other people's chats, but I do want to talk about that at some point.
She can't keep her eyes off the chat. She has to know what is being written about her. And I have the chat open. If you can't read it, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do, but there's actually some good questions, some good comments, people immediately, detecting lies. So I left it open.
Some point.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Tell me about that, because that was one of the questions I had. People say they see you in everybody chat, and I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. It's just with a lot of the stuff that's been going on, they see you in chats and they want to know what's the reason for that.
Because I support Aiden and I support Jess. I mean, I have.
What? What'd you say? What'd she say? Was this 2 days ago? 3 days ago? Do we believe that? Do we genuinely believe that?
Let's put it this way. I haven't had any contact with Jess for a couple of weeks. She knows what's happened to the channel. She hasn't said a word. I am very disappointed in that. But on top of that, there's been all this stuff going on with people with conspiracy theories, which I adamantly think are ridiculous, that I disavow. I don't want to have my name associated with them in any way. But as far as being in everybody's chat, one of the things that I have said from the beginning is, if I am a member of Turtle's chat, which I am and have been throughout, I feel like, why can't I go there? And also go to Rat House or these places where I always had memberships before, because Jess and Aiden had a problem. Does that mean that people aren't allowed to go into these chats? I feel like that was more of a chat decision than it was a creator decision. I never had a creator say, don't be in here, but people in the chat get very territorial and I'm going to tell you something.
Do you understand why, especially let's speak on the GOAT, why they would be territorial of him with everything he's been through and what he's still going through now? Do you understand why people could be territorial?
Yeah, and I understand that if I'm a paying member of his community and I contribute money to him and I support him and I cover.
Okay, so she talks about conspiracy theories. And I think what she's referring to is Spicy Missy. She talks about it later on in the live. She's triggered by it. She does not want her name associated with it. I think that's what she's talking about. It's kind of funny because I don't know any conspiracy theory that actually presents the facts with the receipts and comes up with a determination. I don't know. Maybe J7 would know that better than I would. All right, let's skip ahead a little bit.
I understand, because like I said, we ride for this side of the community, and I get it that y'all were riding with Jess, and I had no problem. And we're going to get into that. But before we get into it, the last thing with me, because I want to get into your truth, I just want to get this out the way. I have two more things.
Okay. Can I say something? Because you just said you ride for that side.
No, I ride for the side. Look, I ride for the side.
I ride for that side too, and
I'm not saying that you don't. It's just that.
I get it though. I understand why.
Of course she does, right? So she supports Jess. And she rides for that side. Got it.
When I seen everything going on, right, and that's what I'm speaking on my situation. When I was a mod in y'all group, right, and we still talk about this, but everybody know about this. It seemed like when y'all had, you and Moons had said that that wasn't stuff a mod was supposed to do. When I was trying to explain how Jess had brought my name up in something, and y'all were saying that y'all didn't understand what I was talking about, and it was like I was being disrespectful as a mod. So I wanted to know, did you actually feel like I was being disrespectful as a mod?
I didn't.
Because I was hurt by that. That hurt me because
I know.
Let me tell you why.
Go ahead. Talk.
Real quick, that hurt me.
That is a lie. Maybe she didn't use the word disrespectful, but she sure did agree with my opinion after the stream. We're gonna watch it. And you know what's interesting about this? Hindsight is 2020. This conversation is actually a good one. Give me a minute. We're going to pull this up and we're going to rewatch it. and you can make the decision yourself. I had to shut my computer down because it was acting weird. So I'm sorry. I would have had all of this ready to go. Well, shit. I'll let you listen to a little bit more of this while I do this.
That hurt me because even when the situation happened, I was the one who was still trying to say, I'm okay with just saying it about me. That's how she feels. Everybody, it's okay. Don't take it personal. I was, the one just trying to do that. And it hurt, me being over there and that happening. Can you tell me, can you talk about that?
Yeah. And I don't, I'm here to talk for me, even though I feel like Moons has been doing a lot of talking about me. But when that happened, I wanted to give you a link. She did not want to give you a link. And she didn't feel like, for some reason, I know exactly what happened in my heart. She was afraid that you were going to talk and be mad about Jess. And I kind of knew that you were. But as far as Moons was concerned, there was no talking bad about Jess. Like that, that wasn't allowed. And not that I wanted to, but if somebody else had a problem with her, I felt like they should be able to say that. And that caused quite an issue with us. I would say that was one of some main points. And, I did try to reach out to you after that.
Yeah, you did. But the reason why I say that is because, when the thing was going on, everybody was saying something. Y'all was addressing all the other stuff that was being said to Jess. And when my situation came up, I just wanted some clarity of, do y'all feel like it's right for that? Like, I still didn't.
All right. So let's play this. So this was June 11th. Okay. I don't know. We'd probably been streaming about a month at that point. And Ray, so I think we all know the history with Ray. I supported him from day one. He platformed Jennifer Altman and Lindsay Gattani, and they weren't great streams for Jess. A lot of shitting on, a lot of hate by his community and his mods. And I think we just naturally drifted apart. As time went on, at some point, Ocean became a fan of Ray, but she had not seen those interviews. And when we started the channel, she was a huge fan of Ray. And I had no problem with that. I was just kind of surprised because, that wasn't the majority in our community. But she loved him. She had all great things to say. And I was actually kind of shocked that he had done 2 live streams in our favor against Val. And so he had gone live 2 separate times and said beautiful things about both of us and what we were doing on the channel and supported us and all the things. And I loved it. I was so grateful, especially against Val, like it's my bestie. But anyways, so as a result of that, of course, we did our own live reactions on the channel, and Ray got a wrench. He became a mod. So he's a mod at this point on June 11th.
And this was a terrible example of that, in my opinion.
Yep.
So yeah. No, Ray, that is not true. Ray said I got piled on for absolutely nothing.
Okay, so we weren't talking to Ray. We were talking about something else. Okay. I was trying to follow the agenda. I was a baby in guest producer training at the time. I was trying to follow the agenda. So she pulls up this comment.
Nothing, but I guess I'm a man. It don't matter. It does matter. And it matters to us. And you know that I was in your stream today. And I would like to talk about that also.
She immediately goes into defensive mode for Ray.
Because people assume that we've seen every episode. You said you saw 90% of them. I haven't. And for instance, when Jess first started out, I was not subscribed. I've never seen her Kate Peter interview. I've never seen the Lindsay Gattani or Jim interviews with Ray. Everybody should be able to choose who they want to interview. And Ray, I know by listening to the clip that you played today, that Jess said things that I thought the two of you had since talked about, but I could be wrong about that. That's why I kept asking, when is this recording from? And it was from December 5th of 2025. And I hope that things have changed. And I know Ray does not feel accepted.
So something had occurred that day. He had a live and something was discussed and I had no idea what it was.
In the bunnies chat. And I've seen it, where people are not nice. But I just feel like Ray and Jess can talk, can dialogue. Because if there's anybody that can hold a conversation with somebody, it's Ray. Ray is amazing. And
so something happened in December and we're talking about it 6 months later?
Okay, but that's not the point. Something did happen. And
why is that not the point? Do you see what I'm saying here? This is going to get good. Just keep watching.
I'm not sure if he knew when he played that today, when it was. And maybe he did know. And then there was talk about this whole social, whatever that thing is called, the social horizon chart.
She doesn't even know what the social horizon chart is called.
And Jess throwing, this is what I heard because I didn't see it, throwing the magnet on the floor. And Ray saying, she put me back on the wall, y'all forgot. So honestly, I feel like sometimes this is not from Ray, but from people who love Ray and feel that he was wronged. I feel like when people are really piling on somebody and then you remember, oh, she did this and she did this and she did this. And the Ray thing is something that I really hope that they re-talk about so that it's clear for people, how they are with each other, which I thought, because we've talked, Ray talked on the show that he made, which was defending me, like, I know myself personally how badly it can quickly affect you when somebody starts shit talking you on here. From experience how quickly and how toxic and the real time results of what can happen when somebody campaigns against you. So Jess knows it. She's experienced it. Will has experienced it when people were piling on him about alleged charges that he had. I don't remember anybody doing a hate stream, but they certainly did pile on. I can say I was never a part of that. You were never a part of that because that's not how we operate. Like, we don't think like that. And I am somebody who will always search for the truth and my own understanding of it before I, climb on board any team, anybody program or, train or whatever, because we've been trying to say all week, we should all be team Turtle Boy. Never has there been a better example, in my opinion, of how something like this can split a group of people who allegedly are here to free Turtle Boy. And I feel like a lot gets lost during this type of campaign against people, and we can try and explain shit all day long. And some people will never believe it. And, I'm not here to try and convince anybody of anything, but, we've sort of been observing to the side how things can take off and get a life of their own. In fact, these clips that she's talking about, which were taken out of context, I've seen all over X, but, it was not for the context that people have been alleging. And you can probably do a better job of explaining that than I can.
Well, I want to address the Ray for Dallas thing. I don't know the story. Again, it seems like this is between Ray and Jess. I can speculate what the conflict is, but it's not my place. Well, one thing that we have learned by being in this position is that this is a completely different role. Content creator versus just regular audience member, follower. I respect everyone in their own way. When you take this platform and you open your mouth to make a difference. I'm assuming that's why we do this.
That's why we do it. I know that's why Ray and Jess do it. I don't know that that's why everybody does it. Turtle Boy is doing it.
So what I'm saying is just, if it were me in this position, I would just want, Ray and Jess to connect. Of course, I want that to happen privately because YouTube is no place for conflict resolution. Like, I just don't, it's not ideal, in my opinion, to try and work this shit out on YouTube. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, a lot of people do know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Say, you guys come together and try and resolve it, because obviously we've seen it doesn't work when it's being blasted on social media and on YouTube. He says, I tried for months and she threw me under the bus for nothing. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
I think, and Ray, if you want to come up
what that refers to,
you're always welcome to. We'll send you a link.
I mean, it's so she immediately wants to bring Ray up, and I'll just let you watch. It's between the two of them. Like, there's nothing we can do to help facilitate.
All right. Well, in my opinion, it has become more than just between the two of them, and so that's why
bringing him up on panel. How is this going to get resolved on our channel? She wasn't even in the chat. I don't get it. It's an opportunity for him to come on panel and shit all over her, because obviously he's upset about what? I have no idea.
That's why I wanted to address it. And I'm not sure what this means. Oceans, is it a campaign or others observing behavior and drawing their own conclusions? I don't know exactly a campaign like against Jess or against Ray or against anybody that people come after. In this case, to me, what it seemed like is people heard words not directed at Baker and assigned the words they heard to her feelings about Baker. I think. I'm hoping that we listen to these things so we can hear it together. So once that happens and people decide that somebody said something or did something, and then it can become like a campaign. It can become, an immediate judgment, dismissal without getting the facts. And I think, I could be wrong, but I guess that most people assumed that Baker had actually heard these particular clips in more than just a clip fashion, because sometimes you have to hear more than just a clip of something. And I have to say that when I went on Rat House Media earlier, I asked them for the clips that they had been talking about. And Danny answered me and he's like, we don't have them. Somebody said they had them. And then I did, well, at first he didn't answer. So I did it again. And this time I included Will in it. Like, can you show me the timestamp of when this happened? And Will said, don't have it. So, don't have it. What? Yeah. Oh, you did light your candles. I tried to, but I was lucky to get a camera. Anyway.
I'm watching the chat right now. I'm watching the chat. I'm seeing what's going on. People are pissed. There's just, a little bit of a cat fight.
You're silent.
Yeah, I don't like how this has traveled into our chat. I really don't. It's pissing me off.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen stuff except for one comment.
It's convenient for her to not have seen stuff, but yet she did see this comment that's on the screen. She did pull that one up.
Hi to everybody.
Because if you have a conflict with Jess, solving it in our chat and fighting with our audience there's not going to be any resolution. Right? I wish I understood both sides of the story so that maybe I could give you advice from a friend perspective or a content creator perspective, but I don't know both sides of the story. I'm not privy. And what we've learned very recently is that many of the creators in this pylon are getting their information not from the horse's mouth. They're getting their information from clips. There's no context. And clearly misunderstandings are happening because someone was alleged to have said certain words, and that's not what was said.
So it's like two different things, though. He's talking about something.
That's me trying to get back on agenda. So we had planned to talk about the sexual predator shit. So Jess called Baker a sexual predator, apparently, and a sexual deviant. And we worked all freaking day trying to find these transcripts. And finally we found them. And there were references to J7 and Proctor. Like, Jess was starting to actually believe that she said these words. That's what we were talking about that day. I was trying to get back on topic.
About something. I think you're talking about what was said about Baker, right? Yes, no.
What I'm saying is, like, for example, last night, Will had his live, and it included a variety of allegations, information, people in the chat, conversations were had. But at the beginning of his live, he admits, I have not watched Jess in months. So he has not listened to anything that she has said. He has no understanding of the context. He has no understanding of, what's going on in her life, what she's reporting on. He's taking his information, I'm assuming, from X. He's seeing video clips. He went to Tennessee. He's hearing that side of the story, I'm assuming, from Baker, right? And this is just me. Like, I would never confidently make opinions and go on live and make allegations and participate in conversations when I don't have like the full story. I'm taking all this completely out of context, and that's dangerous.
Okay.
But that's just me. That's just me.
I agree with everything you're saying. And you weren't in Ray's show earlier. He's talking about something different.
More defense of Ray. You're right. I wasn't.
Right.
Exactly. We're talking about something completely different. We had, again, she wants to bring him on panel and talk about this. Like, what is the purpose? Ray and Jess's conflict was not on the agenda. So I'm just saying our channel is no place for that conflict to be resolved. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, somebody in the chat made a comment, and I would appreciate it if you did not make those types of comments, because they're not the kind of comments that we have in here anyway. And
right. No, I completely agree. I hate seeing disrespect in a YouTube chat. We're all adults.
Yeah.
So what she's referring to, and I totally missed it, but she does type in the chat as herself or as the channel, knock it off Cat. Cat is Cat Bama. And Cat Bama and Ray were having a bit of a back and forth. And I know Cat Bama. She's very passionate. She almost reminds me of J7 a little bit. And I really like her accent because she's from Alabama. But anyways, she was, having a little back and forth, and it may have gotten a little disrespectful. She even messaged me that night and she apologized. She's like, just apologizing. I'm like, dude, like, it wasn't, she got triggered by Ray. I get it, and obviously she's not a repeat offender. So I get it. Thank you for your apology, but, so
here's another
where do
thing.
we go from here?
Jess admits she told J7 to put out texts. Jess said he screwed those toys that J7 used Emily C's name to get him to open. Yeah. He said.
All right. So hindsight is 2020. So this is interesting because this has nothing to do with Ray. And she brought this comment up and she read it out loud. And why do you think she did that? Knowing what we know now, why do you think she did that? J7. She was already on the J7 hate train. She was already triggered by J7's behavior. Anything to put a bad light on J7 and prove her point or prove her position, she was going to do. And it went beyond highlighting chats during our live stream. It was in my text messages constantly. Links of posts, streams, anything that had to do with, proving her position in regards to J7. And I would get to a point where I was so fucking overwhelmed with shit to do. I couldn't even remember to pay my own bills. Like, I have a full-time job and I'm not getting the help that I'm so desperately asking for the channel, that I would tell her, is this something I need for our content today? Like, is this something I need to watch to prep for tonight's show? And it never was. So watching this conversation was kind of interesting. Oh, there I am. You know, I read the comments all the time. Like, she was so passive aggressive to you, she was so rude to you, blah 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 blah. And I know it. And I know it. And I didn't want to cause any discourse, right? So I just, you know, kept my mouth shut. So, all right, we'll go back to Ray for Dallas.
I still didn't have no problem, but it's like my name keep getting thrown into something. That's what I was speaking of.
I 100% supported you being able to speak what you wanted to. And when I did talk to her about it, if I had been able to get in touch with you, you could have come back on. But honestly, I feel like that wasn't even the right time because you were mad, and I understand you were mad, and you had every right to be mad. Okay. And
now, what happened the day after was, or no, it was the night of this. So the night of that live stream that we just watched, Ray did a live completely shitting on Ocean and I. So during the live stream, I told him, this has nothing to do with me, my friendship with you, my relationship with you, like, or Ocean. It has to do with you and Jess. So please go handle that elsewhere. I guess he didn't like that. So he went live and shit on me and said very awful things as a mod for my channel. I wasn't happy. I did not watch it. Ocean watched it. She sent me the link, I believe. But I was getting ready for bed and I was like, I'm not doing this. And I think it was the next day or 2 days later that I actually read the transcript, and I looked for every instance of my name and only replied to those instances. And I sent him a long ass DM, never got a reply. So as of that point, we had no choice but to take his wrench away. He obviously showed us that he didn't want to resolve the conflict. But, you know, what's interesting is, like, you know, he and Ocean have this relationship that may have been a bit closer than, you know, mine and Ray. And I guess that gave her special privilege to, like, work her way back into his life. I don't know. But apparently, you know, they've worked through their differences, but my DM goes unanswered, which, speaking of an unanswered DM, what's her name? Arcasness. Check your fucking DM.
and I am. I told you today that is something I regret, like, basically every day.
Yeah, no, and one more thing, you know, because the Baker situation that hurted me because I've been through that. Do you feel bad about that situation and the?
Okay, so they're going to talk about Baker and J7. We're going to skip through this. I told you I wasn't going to make you watch all of it.
And I just want to be clear about what we were talking about. That's all. That's, you know, but I get what you're saying. Like,
yeah, and that's it, because, like, the reason why I said that, because it was a big topic, and like I said, I know that you feel a lot of things now, and the manipulation and you not knowing a lot of stuff going on, especially like you expressing me with the things with me. Now, that's what I want to get into.
Oh, yeah. Well, can we talk about that?
That's what I want to get into. Okay. I want you to get into your truth journey on you and Moons.
And you want to talk about
Jess, and are you and Jess still good?
I haven't talked to her at all. I don't plan on talking to her. You know, I don't plan on being against her either, because I feel like that kind of defeats everything. You know, what I would like to be able to do is just mind my business.
Didn't she say earlier she supported Jess? Or did I just make that up? But she doesn't plan on going against her. That's kind of a weird term.
And support the people that I want to support, you know, and without being criticized for that. I, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm just not anti anybody. I'm not anti anybody.
No. So let's
but
talk about.
I do know what you're. I mean, I do want to talk about what you were upset about in the first place. Before we, because can we even? Because that is part of that whole episode.
Yeah, we got time.
Okay, good.
This is your time. Let's go. We got all the time you want.
That, and I still am not clear about. I mean, I know pretty much have an idea what you were upset about, but can you start talking about this so I can make sure I'm clear on what it is?
It's just when my name was brought up in the mix by Jess, and I felt like that you and Moons didn't address. Well, y'all didn't address it, and I felt like that y'all were playing me like y'all didn't see that. And then it felt like I got attacked in there for saying, "Oh, this is not how a mod is supposed to act." And I was just
this is I guess this is Ray's truth. Jess said something about Ray, and we did not speak out against that, I guess. Which I still, to this day, try and understand this sort of mentality that I'm responsible for someone else's words and I'm a party to someone else's relationship. There's no threesome here. Jess and Ray have a relationship. We've gone over this like fucking 5 times. Yes, you have a relationship, even if you're just content creator acquaintances. If you have an issue with each other, you go to the other person in the relationship and you work it out. It's quite simple. I don't know what she said. I don't even know what episode this was, Ray. I'd really like to know. I mean, I didn't care before, but it keeps coming up. Yeah.
I was just asking questions, and I was I thought that I was over there trying to be the best mod in the world because you know I think when somebody gives you that responsibility and they appreciate it, you want to say
you were the best mod in the world. Damn it!
But you appreciate them giving you that, and when that happened to me, I was just like, damn, they see everything else. They didn't see my name brought up in the mix, even though I don't got no problem. I just wanted y'all to address that like I was addressing everything.
And I don't see everything. I'm not that. I'm not a speed reader like J7. I do not see every comment. I barely even see the fucking trolls. I got the team texting me every day, like telling me who to block.
Everything else, and that's what I was asking in the chat.
And that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to give you a link to come up and talk about it. And I would have, I would have, but I was prevented from doing that. And that caused a big issue for me and Moons. And, you know, I'm just going to say, I think when I wrote to you, which I did like the next day, and explained to you how I felt, and which was terrible and powerless and stupid, I sincerely meant all of that, that it was terrible because you were nothing but supportive of us. And I was hurt. I know you were hurt. But when I couldn't get back in touch with you, you know, that was just something, as I've said to you, just ate at me every single day because I felt so terrible about it. So if I could have changed it, I would have changed it. And honestly, I think I've told you this before. The thing that you're talking about, I think, is those interviews and stuff. Is that what you were going to talk about that day?
Say it again. But before you say that, I want you to know, I forgive you. I have no ill will, and that's what I want you to know. See, that's what this world is about.
Right.
Forgiving people, right?
Right.
Because I'm covering this case that I wish I knew about in Richard Allen. And
all right, so he goes off on a little speech there. I'm going to skip ahead.
I feel like we went through stuff that I've never seen anybody go through with this whole fighting among the creators and all this shit that was going on. And philosophically, she and I thought different things. And
so when you say different things,
this is news to me. That philosophically we thought different things. This is news to me.
I need you to clarify what you mean by different things.
I'm going to, but I just shut my computer thing and it just made the thing disappear. So I'm back. So philosophically, I was supporting Turtle Boy, and she didn't want to do that. And then she said that it wasn't just him; it was any trials. But I felt like it was him, because she took it very personally as everything related to Jess. I didn't look at it that way at all. I looked at them as two separate people, two separate people that I could support if I wanted to. You know.
So what you saying? You said she was trying to be like Jess. She wanted to do everything Jess way.
She wanted to. If there was anything that was going to, first of all, Jess actually, I don't think she cared about anybody covering Turtle Boy, but Moons felt like it was disrespectful to Jess. And then she started talking about loyalty, that I wasn't loyal to Jess. And I thought, what are we doing here with this whole loyalty thing? Like, I feel like I should be able to.
So I'd really like the receipts for this. I don't think I have ever said that covering Aiden's court cases would be disrespectful to Jess. Jess was still planning on covering his trials. So this makes no sense. No sense.
To be able to, again, I'm going back to, I should be able to support Aiden if I want to. And that was a big issue. So that was an issue, and specific incidents. The very unfortunate issue where I wanted to give you something, the wrench or whatever it was, not the wrench, you had a wrench, the link. She didn't want to. And, we were doing it together. And so we were trying to do it like in unison, but it was becoming harder and harder because I just wanted to do things that she thought were disloyal to Jess.
Like what? Like what?
Like cover Turtle Boy.
So she didn't want to cover Turtle Boy at all?
No. Wow. Not at all. And so
So let me go into detail here. Obviously, there was a time period, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 weeks, where a variety of things were happening. I mean, you guys saw the timeline. It goes on and on and on. And we were going through these different like freaking emotional phases, right? I think the exit interview really hit us hard. Like, damn, these are his true colors. Yeah, we don't like this human. Okay. But I know damn well that the reason why we're here and the founding principles of this community is, fighting the corruption of the government and injustice. I would never wish, charges on someone like Aiden if they're not, deserved. Like if he didn't do this stuff. And it appears that that's what has happened. And I told her that many times. The legal stuff was always a conversation because she was comfortable with the legal stuff and I wasn't. It wasn't my passion. It wasn't my forte. It was nothing I wanted to prep for. And I considered, the aspect of her taking the lead on the trials and me sort of being the co-host that's kind of clueless, asking all the dumb questions. But it didn't seem fun to me. Again, note that word. It didn't seem fun to me. It didn't seem like something I would, wake up every day and be motivated to prep for. It just didn't. And so I think that was one of the many things that sort of pushed me to be separate, is I knew her passions didn't align with mine in addition to all the other stuff.
I did cover him a few times while she was there, like did do that, but most of the time I couldn't, or it was just so awkward, or we would say that I was going to, but then the show would go in a different direction and there was not enough time or something. So then there was a period of she took off for a week. And during that time, I'm pretty sure it was during that time, I thought that I was going to be able to cover him like the whole time. And something happened with J7 and her attack on some lady. I defended the lady, J7 attacked me, the whole thing ended up on Jolene. And so everything was kind of like spinning around, like it wasn't going in how I wanted to go as far as content went. And then I think she came back and I did do.
It wasn't going how she wanted it to go, but yet she was controlling the entire channel for that week. Are you having regrets? Is that what you're saying? The thing about the loyalty, let me touch on that. So I could read a lot from what she was sending me. Okay. So she would be on Twitter all freaking day and sending me links during my workday. And also, in addition to links, she'd send me comments. Okay. These comments were always critical of someone, whether it was Aiden, Jess, J7, it was someone. And after a while, I noticed that perhaps her loyalty towards Jess was less because of all the criticism I was reading. And perhaps her loyalty towards Aiden was more. I don't know. But I questioned it, and I did question it. Of course, she completely was like, what do you mean? You know, like, absolutely not, blah, 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 blah. And then a couple of weeks after, at some point, the conversation came up again and she didn't remember it. And I had to actually search my phone for the conversation and bring it up to her because she didn't remember it. So that happened a lot. Like, I would bring something up and she just wouldn't remember.
I did do shows by myself. So we had a plan that we were going to have the channel together. I mean, keep it together so that we could keep the content on there. And I was going to start a channel and she was going to start a channel. And when I started the channel, we were going to do it so that people could watch it happen and see what to do when you start a channel. And that had been like maybe 2 weeks before the last live that we had. And during that time, this is so stupid. Something happened where she made a video that had collections of people singing a song, right? And she put it together, and there was somebody who had had done the video, but somehow she didn't get the.
She's talking about the intro video,
the piece of it, right? And make a long story short, she was saying that on the show that the person hadn't done it, and I said she did it, and then she started asking me questions about like, well, where is it? No, I mean, I know she said she sent it, but she did it. I happen to know that there was somebody else whose part did get arrive, but didn't get put in, so that she was going to edit it anyway. So I said, so when
this is interesting. I don't know who she's talking about. Like, is she talking about maybe someone that sent it late and I was going to do a second version? I don't know. She's talking like she has special knowledge of someone that was missed in addition to Arkansas. So
when you edit it, you can just add her in. Like, this is not a big deal. Well, apparently it was a very big deal. And I was passive aggressive and I was horrible. She couldn't work with me, all these things.
She was horrible. She was horrible. She did not have, like, a very trusted bunny told me she did not lead with good intentions in that conversation. She immediately assumed that I left out Arkansas Bestie. Everyone saw it. I watched that fucking video like 15 times. And like every other conversation with this lady, I was being gaslit, and I had to ask myself, am I wrong? Like, is this me? Is this a misunderstanding? Is this on my end? And I would rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, and I'd even, ask other people's opinion. Yeah. So, I think eventually I'm going to have to speak out against Arkansas Bestie because this keeps coming up. And there's also some other, not to mention my DM that's gone unanswered for 9 days now. There's some other things that have happened that make me go, has she always hated me? And was she in Ocean's ear, being a gossip? Because obviously they share the same opinion in regards to J7. And now they share the same opinion in regards to Jess.
All these things. I mean, I'm hearing all these things now. And so we, again, had this plan of how we were going to separate everything. We even talked about it on the show. And she told me that she was going to take the channel and that I would just have to start another one. And that's what's happened. She did take the channel.
Okay,
And
so let's stop right there. So taking the channel. So the channel was always in her control. It wasn't both of y'all. It wasn't in both of you.
Bars, but you can only have one owner of YouTube. And it was her credit card that paid for.
All right, so let's clear up this mess. So when we set up the channel, I set it up. Okay, it's easy. You just register an account on YouTube. Okay, you pick your handle. It's easy. Where it got messy was applying for Google AdWords or AdSense. Sorry. Obviously, that has to do with revenue. And we did our due diligence into researching how we were going to represent that 50% of the revenue was mine, 50 was hers, we would pay our appropriate taxes, yada, 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 yada. And we determined that we needed to set up a legal partnership and an LLC. But it was advised to us that that wasn't necessary in the beginning because obviously you don't make money when you first start. So it was something like down the road that we needed to keep in mind. We were going to need to do this and we would just cross that bridge when we got there. Okay. So as a result of that advice, we wrote call it a contract, an agreement, okay, that explained all of this. And I'm pretty sure she wrote it up. She sent it to me to be approved. I reviewed it. I don't even remember if I had revisions, but I approved it and I never saw it again. And so that contract was never signed, but it was sort of agreed upon. I mean, I'm sure we have like a digital text message that says this is good.
Paid for it. And originally, when we both decided to make a channel, we were keeping that as a place, like I said, to have joint projects or keep the stuff that we had already made. And apparently she got really pissed off about this song. And she told me that she was going to take the channel and she changed all the passwords.
So what song did she get angry about?
24 on 24. It was something so stupid, right? It's like, I feel like it was going to be something. It just happened to be, that was the thing, you know, that, I mean, I feel like she was sort of just waiting for something to happen. And
it wasn't the song I was mad about. It was the accusation. Like, I don't know. Maybe Ray's not following. Ray, would you like to see that clip? I can show you. So, gosh, I think there was a point here that I wanted to make and I forgot. But, you know, we had a conversation. It was on July 4th or July 5th, and it went very well. I told her I supported her going individual. I told her I'm not really sure if I want to do this like on my own. I wasn't like 110%, but I knew I didn't want to give up. Like I didn't want to let the channel just die. I had some other ideas and I was willing to just sort of make it work. So I specifically told her during that conversation, and it could have been maybe a different conversation, like a different day, because I think I know there were multiple conversations where I said, I'm starting to feel like I want to do this separate. Okay. We already knew what our first paycheck was going to be. And you guys, it was actually really good. It had a comma. It was 4 figures. That was our first paycheck. I was grateful. But at the end of the day, when you're thinking about all the time that you devote and, you know, all the other things I have to devote my time to, and I knew I wasn't getting 50% of her assistance on running the channel, I was starting to resent that. And I was starting to think, okay, I would rather collect those 4 figures 100% and do everything. You know, I was already doing a lot. Okay. So this is just where my mindset was. And like I said, we had multiple conversations about this. And during one of the subsequent conversations, I told her, I don't want you to feel like I screwed you over. I said that blatantly. I do not want you to feel like I'm screwing you over. So I had already done research. Like, what happens if we change the handle? Do we lose our monetization? No, we don't. Well, that's good. That means I can assume the channel. Okay. Did I want to just fire her per se and have her go on her merry way individually? No. If that was the case, that's what I would have done. My passions are in this world. So I was more than willing to hold her hand through creating a YouTube channel, setting up her Google AdSense, doing all the shit that I did for our channel. I had no problem. And I told her that. And she blatantly asked me as well, are you going to help me? Or, can you still help me learn how to edit videos? Blah, 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 blah. Of course. Yes, of course. We even took yes, Ray, hold her hand. That's exactly what I was willing to do because I knew I was taking the channel, if that's what you want to call it. But also because this is my passion, I was considering recording a lot of this and creating content out of it myself for other people who want to learn how to do this. It was a win-win for both of us, I thought. We even got together on a weekend. I think it was a Sunday or it was a Monday that was a holiday. I don't even remember. We pre-recorded a video of talking about brand strategy, talking about Wi-Fi connection, like Ethernet versus Wi-Fi, like all the things that you have to think about before you start a YouTube channel. We pre-recorded all of that and she was with me. And I've never made any content out of it, honestly. That's my bad, but I've been busy. But after that, it seemed like something switched, something changed, something happened. And I don't know what it is, but I think it's coincidental that she's now assisting our Kansas bestie with her channel. She's a mod over there and she's tech support. So I think that is where things went sour. Because obviously AB didn't like J7 and neither did Ocean. And now AB didn't like me and neither did Ocean. And they bonded over the similar hate that they have for each other. And now I'm guessing they don't like Jess.
And since then, I have seen her behavior morph into something that I don't even recognize with the things that she's been saying and doing. And so when I last reached out to her, which was about a week, I don't know exactly when it was, but it's been over a week. And I said, did you change the passwords on everything? And she said, yeah, I decided, it was the 1st of the month. That's what it was. I said, did you change the password? And she said, yeah, it's the 1st. And I just, that was the date I decided.
I'll read those text messages. That's not correct. She said, hi, how are you? This is the first time I've wanted to look at our content and review some things in YouTube. First time. Did you remove my access to YouTube? I didn't try StreamYard. I said, yes, I told you end of month, I'd switch everything over. Okay. So 2 weeks prior to this, we had decided to go our separate ways. It was right around the time we got our first paycheck. And I told her, I'm going to do the accounting. So I'm going to, consider our paycheck. I'm going to consider all the money we've put into the channel. I told her, give me your expenses. Tell me what money you've put in so that I can pay my 50% of that expense and deduct that from our revenue, our first paycheck, and determine how much, we can quote take home, I did all of that. And I told her I would do it again for July. And why did I say that? Because me, being the very organized OCD person I am, I wanted a clean break. So YouTube pays you by month. So the last day of July is what your August paycheck is going to be. So we had already gotten June. So our last day of June was our July paycheck. That was the first one that we received. So I was already looking ahead, like, send me your expenses. I'll do the same for the next month. And the clean break was going to be at the end of the month. And I said that to her on a phone call. She doesn't remember. So she says, I don't remember us agreeing on an exact date. I couldn't really force myself to look at it and thought you'd let me know before you locked me out. Why would I let you know? I had already told you 2 weeks prior. You had 2 weeks. And by the way, because we had recorded that recorded video with like deciding your brand, deciding your niche, all that kind of stuff, I had been asking her every day for her handle. Every day. Like, do you have your handle yet? Like, do you have your new channel? Because I was going to go into YouTube and create the new channel for her, but I needed her to decide on a handle. And she just never did it. She said, I do want to be able to use content. So what now? Again, another thing that we had discussed. I told her, I have no idea what we should do, but I'm open to giving you your videos, especially the ones you did individually. And I'm open to giving you 50% of the rest. Just tell me which ones you want. It didn't matter to me at all. And she never did it. She says, this is in a text message. What do you think makes the most sense for videos? Which I had already told her. I had already discussed this with her. I said the last time we talked, I told you I didn't have a plan or an opinion about the content on the channel. I did say it makes perfect sense to give you all of your individual content. It doesn't make sense for me to keep that and list it on my individual channel. I just need to know where to place those episodes for you. Like, give me your Google Drive link so that I can put them in there. Like, set up a shared folder so I can put them in there. And then she says, I'll call you in 10 minutes. I was leaving out the door to the water park and I said, I'm out with family. She says, okay, can you call me later? At this point, there's nothing to discuss. I told you exactly, I reminded you of a previous conversation, and I told you exactly what I need. I need to know what episodes you want and where to put them. And I never called her back. I never called her. There's nothing to discuss.
I decided, I said, well, we didn't decide that. We didn't talk about that. We don't have anything in writing about that. And I said, can you talk? And she said, no, I'm out with my family. And I texted her and I said, well, can you call me when you get home? And she didn't call me when she got home. I actually, the night that she did, and I'm getting a little mixed up on the dates, but the night that she did this live where I don't think she didn't change the name of the channel that night, but she did a live talking about basically that she was taking the channel and whatever. I don't even exactly remember everything that she said. And then the next week she changed the name of the channel. And so like all the comments that are in the shows that we did, like comments that I made, all of them now like have her logo on them and make it look like she did all that. Oh, I know another thing is she basically told everybody that I did nothing, that I didn't do any work. And I mean,
okay, so basically you said,
okay, I never told her she never did any work. I did say that I need help with tasks. I did set up multiple to-do lists, one for daily and one for, what was the other one? I can't remember. Oh, just like a generic to-do list, like things that I knew I didn't have time to do and I would just throw them on there. and then a daily checklist, like something that you have to do every single day, which is like go into your comments and reply to your comments and pin a comment and all the things you have to do for the algorithm. I set up all of that. Did she ever use it? No, she didn't. But you want to know something really, let's drop a bomb. When she figured out that she couldn't get into the YouTube and StreamYard, she got into our email and she changed the recovery email address and the phone number. And while she was in there, she forwarded emails to herself that she wasn't a party to. Emails with very large creators in this community, between myself and them. She forwarded them to her personal email address. Why? And it wasn't just that. So when you create something, like on a Google Drive and you share it with somebody, it sends you an email. Those to-do lists, that's what happened. I shared it with her. It sent her an email to the Ocean Moons Live Gmail account. And I expected her to click on the link and use the to-do list. She never did. But that is one of the things that she forwarded to herself. There were countless emails that she forwarded to herself. And I'm like, dude, that's not good. That's not good. Now, in her defense, I do think, if I remember correctly, she did set up the email address. I think. I can't remember, but, I was battling with myself. Like, does she feel like she deserves this Gmail account because she set it up? I could see that. But I was still managing the channel that had the name. And I just, I had emails in there for the intro video. People were sending me their videos on email. She even forwarded the email I sent to Jolene. Like, dude, what are you going to do with that email? I have no idea. No idea.
You saying she just slid the rug from up under you?
Oh, yeah.
Overnight.
The rug has been slid, yes.
So, so was there any intense conversations leading up to, was there, it had to be something that went on between it, or was this just like a thief in the night where she just came in, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, it's mine?
I mean, I have my text and everything. There was no big conversation. In fact, we had a conversation the night that she did this thing, the episode where, I'm basically a piece of shit. And I don't remember exactly. I think she made it sound like we had come to this decision, but that is not a decision that we came to. And the last text messages from me are, can you call me? Can you call me? And nothing. She hasn't responded. And that's been, maybe, I don't know if we're going on 2 weeks now. And the reason, go ahead.
So it was just a straight ghost?
Yeah. Yes, Ray. A straight ghost. Yep.
Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah. Which is a very ballsy move.
Super ballsy, because I seen, and this is all honesty, both of y'all put work into that channel, and you saying with clarity that she just took it, like a thief in the night, or like the Friday after next when Santa Claus was stealing all the presents.
Yeah.
Like she just took it like that.
I got the coal. I got coal in my stocking. And not only that, okay, so that also means all our views, over 1,000 subscribers, the watch time.
We can talk about that. So I had intended on helping her set up the channel. We were going to promote her new channel on our channel, Ocean Moons Live. I was not going to change the name until she was ready to be transitioned out. Okay. I had every intention on helping her get to monetization, either by promoting her channel, making content for her, whatever. Like, I had every intention. That was the fair thing to do, right? Something changed. Now, she did have a conversation, which she does talk about, and Jess talked about it last night. She did have a conversation with Jess, and Jess said, this is what I think you should do. Okay? She said, you guys go your separate ways. you get to 500 and then you sort of fly on your own. So you get to 500 subs, which is halfway to monetization, and then you sort of do the rest on your own. And she called me to tell me that this is what Jess said. And she actually questioned me about it. Like, she's like, did you know she was going to say that? Like, she said it on a live one morning. She's like, did you know that? Did you know that? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. And she had a problem with it. Like, she just didn't like it. She wanted me to do what I said, which I had every intention on doing. I have no idea. I have no idea. I think back and I'm like, it was just a multitude of things that pissed her off, and she just turned. And of course, she had AB in her ear, agreeing. I mean, AB has publicly said that Ocean got the shit end of the deal. AB has no fucking idea. She doesn't know my side of the story because she didn't live it. Oh, it fucking infuriates me. So when she said that on her live, I reached out to her in a DM. She hasn't replied.
The monetization process, the ad revenue, all of it. And since then, it's like she's been on a mission to say terrible things about me. I mean, it has been truly shocking to me because in all the time that I have known her, she never, okay, wait a minute, I'm just thinking of something, never indicated to me that this would ever be a thing, that I wouldn't be able to trust her. And yes, we do have something in writing. I honestly have just not even wanted to.
Hold up, y'all had something in writing? Like, did it get, what you call it, did it get, stamped?
Notarized or anything? No, but it didn't have to be. And, we both have a copy of it.
Are you thinking about taking actions or no?
Well, what I'm thinking is hopefully after she's done her little week here as executive producer and conspiracy theorist, because I don't know if.
Whoa. What's wrong, Jill? I don't know. She's bothered.
Because I don't know if you know what's going on over there.
Well, no, and we're going to get to that, but real quick, we got to take our first break with the hour. We got time, y'all. Everybody,
please, let's play along.
Please put some support on that cash app at the top. $ Ray from Dallas, Mr. 214. Help the channel go a long way. We're going to take a quick break, y'all, and we're going to listen to that hype song.
All right. I do love Ray's music, but we'll fast forward. Oh, this is good. So you guys, she can't keep her eyes off her phone, and she's even on her phone on stream on Ray's panel. I just find it very disrespectful, but this is what she did with us as well.
Everything in me, do you understand me? Now listen, I appreciate everybody on her, right? And y'all done, a lot of people done turned me up, right? And when I mean turn up, y'all done support the channel, whether it was a super chat or cash app, right? So I need to turn y'all up real quick with that gangster link. When I'm gonna turn y'all up with this, baby, calm down.
Okay, he's not done.
Because like I said, y'all, it take a huge person, right, to come on her, to go on her truth journey, answer the tough questions, right? Face the adversity, also speak her truth, right? And when everybody know, me and Ocean is good. I have no problems with her. We are 100% fine, right? This is not about attacking her in no type of way. I want y'all to know that these questions are questions that needed to be said. And now she's taking us on her truth journey, right? In her situation with Moons. And I want to shout out to Jimmy, right? Because he's the one who stamped that truth journey. You understand me? Shout out to the Prince of Massachusetts, Jimmy. You understand me? So, Oceans. We left off at what did we leave off at? You was about to say about we talking about the channel. So that's what I want to say. I want to go back right there real quick because we got a lot. That's a lot.
It is right? a lot. Believe me, I've been trying to wrap my head around this because I just am just so like, I can't even get mad about this because I just think this is an act of stupidity that I haven't. My motto is also deal with people when you're ready to deal with them, not when, I don't have to deal with something instantly because I need to have a plan of action. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, the behavior that I've been seeing this past week has been so insane. I thought, no, I just keep doing this shit, keep doing it. And meanwhile, I'm just, continuing to, decide what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and I know it's tough. Like I said, I understand things can be tough, right? But the great thing about it is, in tough situations, either you can hide in the corner or you can step in front of it. And what you're doing tonight, you stepping in front of it, and we're going on your truth journey. You spoke about J7.
Oh my God, help me! Yes.
So let's I want to get back to you and Moons. But what did J7 come in the mix? Because it seemed like I seen that name in this mix as well. Can you speak on that?
Yeah. Well, J7 is the person who had the issue with Baker, Jess defended her, and I did not think that was a good idea. But Jess does what she wants to do. She's not listening. I mean, there's nobody that she's like following advice from, in my opinion. And I feel like she did, back away from her for like a couple of days or something. But on the one hand, J7 can be the nicest person in the world. She's funny. She has a big heart. But on the other hand, her behavior is so outrageous, so unchecked, so unregulated, and so horrible that there is no excuse for any of it. The good doesn't outweigh the bad, in my opinion. It's just out of control. And I have experienced her outbursts, her threats, and other people that I am friends with have as well. And, Jess continues to go into her chat and mod for her and condone her behavior. She doesn't have to say that she's condoning it, but she is condoning it by her behavior. So
let me ask you this, because when did you start feeling like this? Because I like I said, I wasn't in it, but I seen that y'all was all getting along together when the situation was going on. So, and I seen y'all all in the line. So when did you start seeing this behavior that made you look?
So I didn't really have very much contact with J7 before this all happened. The timing of it was she had started a channel, right? And there was a day that Jess was, how my first contact with her actually was, Jess was doing something for her daughter's wedding. And she couldn't really look at the chat or answer things. And so she threw a link for J7 and for me to come up. And that was the day that, I think that was the day that J7 said something about Baker, and Jess shut her up. And I think then talked to Baker afterwards. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But that was the first real contact that I had with her. And I wasn't really up there, like more than I don't think 10 or 15 minutes. But what happened after that is exactly around the time that Moons and I were starting our channel. And nothing had really, the whole explosion with Baker hadn't happened yet. And J7 asked if we wanted to go on her show. And it was the first time we had ever, gone on a show or talked or, except for that one time that I did with Jess, but that was very spontaneous. So anyway, we did. And Mary B was up there, Mary B from Rat House, because she had gone on with Jess several times and had streamed with her as well. And so we went up there. I think we were talking about the top 5 things that had happened that week. It was very generic. It was no big deal. Kane came on there, and that was the first time he had been in and out with Jess. She had, I think, said he couldn't come back anymore. But anyway, he came up there. We talked to him. That was the end of it. And then right after that, Moons and I started our channel. And then it was after that that all the shit happened with J7 and the whole. Oh, I do know a couple of things that happened. One is that.
Real quick, let me say something. Lily, beautiful Miss Lily, say what you want. Like I said over here, everybody got their own opinion. We got freedom of speech, right? It's okay because we can all agree to disagree. I told y'all, me and Ocean, we are good, right? Everybody with this woman, because I want everybody to know this. I want y'all to know, Richard Allen case has changed.
He goes on another speech. Which is,
fine. I'd say, that's fine. I would say that as I'm here addressing things, people can hate me, whatever. Oh, it would be really nice if they would just stop with the bullying online. That is really, I don't know what that's getting them, but it's really a shitty thing. And I would also say that if we lined everybody.
But yet she goes into Jolene's chat and supports Jolene. What's Jolene doing?
Up and looked at their behavior all day long, every single day for the past 2 months, people might think, oh shit, I forgot I wrote that. I forgot I did that, or whatever. There's just a lot of, I don't know, a lot of things that I think that, really unnecessary, but that's just me. Anyway, it is what it is.
So people, shout out to Bobby, sent the super chat. Do you believe Karen Reed is innocent?
Yes, of course I do.
Do you believe the stuff that JFK said about me is true or not true?
Okay, right. No, it's not.
No, that's
true.
just a question.
I'm going to explain.
No, you don't have to. That's just a yes or no.
But I won't explain something. It isn't.
No. That's just a super chat. They just want a yes or no question.
Yes, of course, I believe that everything that happened to you is terrible, unjust.
No, I didn't say terrible. I said,
it is terrible. It's terrible.
That's overstood. But I'm saying, do you believe that it's true or not true?
It is not true. None of that.
So, all right. No. I just wanted to. Bob said that. Can you answer the super chat? So if you see any super chat,
I don't even see a super chat.
Well, you can turn your phone on. So if you see any super chat, come up and say that. You know, like you can say that.
Okay.
And I want everybody to know this too, right? Like, look.
All right. So I'm going to skip to 30 minutes from here. So we're about halfway. Do you guys want to take a break? I would love to get a refill and take a little bit of a break. How about we play Spicy Misty's song? Yes? Nay? Yay? Or do we just want to end it and go hang out with J7? We can do the rest tomorrow. Although Spicy Misty may be back tomorrow, so she wasn't feeling good today. So break or J7? Yes? Yes. Which one? Break? All right, I'm going to... Oh, okay. I want to end it. Song. Spicy song. Okay. We'll end it. I would like to go over this one because she does start talking about the wig. Okay. But maybe like 30 minutes more. So let me play this.
Spicy, misty, they call it prison misty. Spice girl with the CIA edge, dirty work on Twitter, X. Prison misty, she'll cut you, call out the lies, demand the receipts. Prison misty, protect the queen, no bullshit survives, receipts or goodbye.
It never gets old. It never gets old. Hopefully she'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. There's like some rumblings that she might start her own channel, so we'll see.
So can you tell me some of the things she said?
Well, she's on this whole big I'm passive aggressive. I remember one that I wouldn't let her do things like wear a wig and do things that she wanted to do that were fun. And I'm thinking,
Wear a wig.
wear a wig. I mean,
Ocean,
a wig,
hold
a W-I-G wig on your head wig. Yes.
Ocean, hold up. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm
Sorry, y'all. It's really funny.
She said that you didn't want her to wear a wig?
Yes. Okay. This all started with Jolene. Like Jolene was like, had different names and stuff. And I didn't give a shit what she did but I honestly didn't think she was very funny. And so I'm like, there would be nothing worse than just putting on a wig and trying to be funny about the whole thing and being a total dive.
You didn't think who was funny?
I don't think she has a sense of humor at all. Like she does. Moons. She does not have a sense of humor. And she would be very offended by me finding things funny. And she was like, that's not funny. I'm like, well, I'm sorry if I find it funny. Like, first of all, I really liked Jolene's show and I wanted to show the stuff that she did. And
hold up real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to BL.
She would send me links from like TikTok videos of like court and just like random shit. And then she would say, I found J7. And I'm like, that's not funny. Like, why are you sending me that shit? Is it to bait me so that I'll make a comment about J7? I don't know. It was gross.
BLT, man, some of the classics, cuz, man, oh my.
So the thing about the fun, we can address that. And I think I've said this before too. The very first time that we had, I don't even know what you want to call it, like Val and her besties came into our chat and started spewing hate. It was right around the time that the drama with Jimmy and I happened. And I was using Jimmy's pictures and yada, yada, yada. They started calling her Tom Petty. And I think it was because she was wearing those black aviators that were reading glasses. And she said that she could see with them. And so she was wearing them during the streams. And even Jess complimented her. And Jess loved them. And so she started wearing them. And I guess because she has long, straight blonde hair, then that was the opportunity to call her Tom Petty, right? Well, after this happened, I asked her, well, I probably was so like tickled by it that I told her, I said, you've got to get like a play guitar or a blow up guitar or something. And you need to open the show like doing Tom Petty or something. At the time we weren't monetized. So like we could have used a song and totally played into it. And because our channel was so new, I was so excited about building our own internet lore. I'm like, this could be our first internet lore. She was on board for one day. And this was, I think, on a Thursday or a Friday. So when we went live the next day, or the next day, which was like a Monday, I approached her and I said, or I just asked her in a text message, I'm like, did you get your guitar? And she's like, I've decided I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. I'm like, you don't want to mention Tom Petty at all? No, she didn't. She didn't want to. And I had said wig at that time because, like even though her hair is blonde, like she could still get a wig and it be like total Tom Petty, right? I guess that triggered her. I don't know. She didn't want to do it.
Didn't want her to wear a wig?
She said that I would not let her have any fun, that she wanted to wear a wig and have like skits and stuff. And I, to myself, thought, I don't remember her ever even saying such a thing, except the one time about something. And I'm like, I don't have a wig. Like, I'm not going out to get a wig because I just didn't think it was going to be funny because I don't think she's funny. So sorry about that, but I don't. So anyway. So
why don't you think she's funny?
Right. You got to pull up her last couple of shows because she's had a wig on every single night. Okay. I'm not lying.
No. So you didn't want her wearing wigs?
I didn't listen, right. It's not like every night we had to talk about wigs. It didn't happen like that. I remember one time she said something about a wig. I didn't have one. I'm like, you can wear one if you want. But she was telling people, this is how insane this is, that I did not let her have fun. that I did not let her wear a wig. So Ray, you got to just pull up the first couple of shows.
So I think what she's referring to is that she is witnessing the wig is breaking the internet, right? We did the red one first and then the blue one with J7. It's causing a lot of havoc online. People are triggered. And I think I made it may have been J7. She may have said something, or one of you in the chat, that you guys were witnessing me being myself. And, obviously it was a lot more fun and funny. And I think at that point I said, yes, like I definitely didn't feel that Jill was open to doing skits. She wasn't open to making fun of herself. She wasn't open to laughing with the trolls, and that sucks, like you can't take this shit seriously.
I don't want to do that.
Not, because you're going to be, okay, the first one, she's in a red wig and sunglasses. Now, the other thing is, she did not want to cover legal cases. And she was like, I really like that. I went to law school. I didn't finish, but I did go to law school. I really, really enjoy covering cases. And so I can't even remember the one that I wanted to talk about. She didn't want to. So then she decides it would be a good idea with her red wig on to pull up Lindsay Clancy. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me back up a second. Her show is now called The Mooney Bin. Okay. And so here we have Lindsay Clancy, who is having a psychiatric.
I love Ray's laugh. But are you laughing at me, Ray, or are you laughing with me? Which is it?
Defense and going through all this stuff. And she names her show The Mooney Bin, puts on a red wig and sunglasses. And that's the night she covers the Lindsay Clancy case. I was dying. And I did make the comment that I was really mad that she did that. I was offended by that because I thought that was just a horrible idea.
So you think the Mooney Bin came from, the Lindsay Clancy case?
No. The Mooney Bin came from her week off. She took a week off, and I don't know. I can't even explain her.
So I want to get back. So did you have a problem with her wearing the wigs? Because I think.
No, Ray. I mean, really, I don't. If she had wanted to wear a damn wig, fine. But okay, so as soon as I'm gone, as soon as I'm locked out, her first appearance is in a red wig with sunglasses in her show called The Mooney Bin, and she covers a trial. And it's not just any trial; it's Lindsay Clancy. And yes, I kind of did lose my mind because I was like, I just can't even believe it. And instead of covering the trial, it was the day that they read her journal entries, which was a very important day. Instead of then, after she showed that, instead of talking about it and what it meant for Lindsay, instead of that, she started talking about how she got her kids through like sleeping through the night. That's what the conversation became. And I was like, I'm just so offended by everything that's just happened here. I can't even tell you, because I just thought it was in poor taste to talk about the Mooney Bin in a red wig and Lindsay Clancy and then not even discuss it. And yes, maybe.
Yeah. So obviously this triggered her. That day, that stream, I did not cover the trial. I covered the reading out into the record of her journals. And I related those words to my own journey as a mom and things that I believe we need to learn from watching this trial. I mean, I didn't cover the trial. I just, one of the things that I felt like I needed to do a little bit more streaming solo was talking more about my life, because I didn't do that before, like I didn't share like personal stuff. And this was just something I felt like I could share and maybe connect with the women in this community. That's all that was. It wasn't like I was covering the trial.
Yes, maybe I shouldn't have been pissed, but it kind of did piss me off. That was one thing, because she would just say, I never let her do anything fun. So now she was going to do fun things. And I'm like, well, thank God I wasn't on there when she did fun things, because to me, there was nothing fun about any of this. Nothing. So I think the next night she wore a blue wig, and I think maybe I stopped watching after that. But I feel like it's been a wig a night, I don't know. And so I say, have fun with that. Have fun with that. So you hijacked our content, my content. Yes.
So that's what she was saying. You didn't want her to.
I heard her saying that, Ray. Yes.
But is that true though?
Ray. Okay. Now I don't know how many times I can tell you this.
I didn't
wearing a wig. Okay. The one time she said something about a wig, I said, I don't have one. if she wanted to, she could do it. I didn't care. But like she made it
He can see right through her bullshit. Seriously.
sound like the people that I was repressing her from wearing a wig, which is the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard. Because I mean, where it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
But
that do sound a little
crazy.
to the upper moon.
It's to the upper moon. It's definitely to the upper moon. It's very much to the upper moon. And so yeah, I was like, wow.
So okay, so the wigs was one thing, and what other things?
Basically, that I just I don't know, like that we disagree. She said stuff, I don't even remember everything, honestly, because it was stuff that didn't even make sense to me because it wasn't true. But whatever it was designed to make me look like a piece of shit, basically. I mean, poor Moonsie, she couldn't wear a wig, you know, and I prevented that. I mean, it's just beyond belief to me. So
do you feel betrayed by her?
oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Ray, she locked me out of the channel, okay, and StreamYard, and did it, and then did not text me back, did not call me back, just nothing. Yes, ghosted me. That's what it's called.
Do you feel betrayed by Jessica Machado?
Not like I do about Moons, because it wasn't her show. I mean, Moons thought it was her show because she wanted to do everything to please her. But yeah, let's put it this way. I know that she knew what was going to happen. I didn't at first, but the more I thought about it, I knew because I had, Jess doesn't always text people back. Like that's not an act. She just doesn't. But I had reached out to her and she knew that we were splitting the channel and how we were doing it. But then she went on her show and said that Moons was going to make sure that I got 500 subscribers, even though we have like 1,200 or something. I know it's not that big of a deal as far as the channel size. It's the principle of the matter. And that Moons was just going to take the channel because it was her channel. She had started it and I just kind of got added in and that I hadn't done any of the work. So yes, I would say that's betrayal, right? Now that I think back on it, I've had a lot to think about in the past couple of weeks, but yes, that's betrayal right there. And then not to respond to me reaching out to her after that to say, huh? Say what now? I think maybe you misunderstood. But then J7 repeated the same story that it was Moons' channel. She was taking it. And it's funny to me that Kane was the only one who was like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Like when Ocean comes and tells her story, it's going to be completely different. And J7 of all people in the damn world said, oh, there isn't going to be a story because they're going to handle it like ladies. And I thought, bitch, okay, I've tried. I am trying because I just don't want to.
Who said that, J7?
J7. Like she's got the corner on how to act like a lady. She said, there isn't going to be a scene or a story because they're going to handle it like ladies. And I even said to Moons, I think I was still talking to her at that point before that she really changed everything. I said, what are you saying to them? Because clearly you are telling them something because Jess said it and now she's saying it.
This is funny because I seriously do not remember having a conversation with J7 about this. I kind of wonder if Jess said something to J7 and that's how she knew. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. One thing I wanted to point out is that I haven't hijacked her content. I have made a variety of videos that are individually hers and ones that I felt like she would want, such as the legal stuff that we co-hosted together on. I've made them private and my intention is to download them and put them on her drive whenever she gets it to me. I don't know if you guys have experience in doing that, but it's like 20-ish or more episodes and it takes a while to download. So I started to do it one day and of course I tried to do them all at one time and that didn't work. So I'm gonna have to do them individually. But I just haven't put it at the top of my priority list. I've been producing a show, Ocean.
I said, when Kane is the only one that's making sense, there's a problem here. I don't know if you know who Kane is, but I thought if Kane can recognize this cannot be the truth, then everybody knows it's not the truth, And I saw somebody in the chat earlier.
Well, before we get to that, I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Because I know I want to know, why did you on July 7th on Jessica Machado stream on 24/24 No Days Off edition, you made more than 20 comments and super chats mentioning Valhalla by name?
On July 7th?
I mean, do you remember when you were mentioning him by name?
I think that was during the whole swatting thing. I'm not sure. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because he came on her on on her show, I think, that day. And I'd have to look back at it. I'm sorry that I don't have an answer for every single thing, but
No,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
okay.
it was about swatting. And I did try and talk to him after that, like multiple times. And he doesn't want to, that's fine, whatever. And so after that whole thing
But you did try to apologize?
Yeah, I've tried to reach out to him. I have in fact been screamed at by J7 and by Jess, now that I think about it, for
What do you have to apologize for? What is she apologizing for? I have no idea. I don't know. At this point in the interview is when I start to suspect this is a total setup. Like, Ray and his team have done their homework and they are bringing the journalistic facts and they're putting her on the spot.
For being nice to Valhalla. Like, why are you being so nice to Valhalla? Yes, called out in a chat by Jess, and then J7 went off on me, and yeah.
Okay, is that what she's apologizing for? So she was in a chat, J7's chat. She told Valhalla, "It's so great to see you." Some shit like that.
That's
so. I'm just speaking on you. So
I don't know if he didn't.
You do regret the things that happened.
Listen. I don't even know.
For that?
I don't know what the 20 thing. I don't know if I was trying to get his attention. I don't know what it was, but it was
Did you guys notice that she's not on camera anymore? I think I skipped over this part. She ended up taking a break while he was playing his music, and when she came back, she couldn't figure out how to turn the camera on. Just a note.
But it was about the swatting thing, and but I never did talk to him. So if I don't know what I said. I know I said his name 20 times, and if I said it and said anything after it that was rude, I apologize for that. I do know that I was had information about that whole swatting thing, which is one reason why I wanted to talk to him. I mean, the phone call, the whatever that was that happened. So yeah, and honestly, I don't remember all the details about that, but that is the only time I can think of. And then I did try to talk to him when he came into J7's chat one night, and that is when he was saying that
but let me ask you this: you're not putting that on nobody else. You take accountability for that as yourself.
I'm not putting that on
the chat, because the chat, they seem to believe that you're pointing fingers at everybody else. I'm just telling you what the chat's saying, Ocean.
That's fine. I mean,
so you're taking accountability for yourself. You're not pointing fingers at anybody else, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now I just want to get that over still, because the chat are saying that you're pointing. And shout out to Valhalla. Mm-hmm. He's in the building. Shout out to Valhalla. He's in the building, so I think he heard that. So that's good to know that he heard you apologize, right? And like I said, all you can do is just give it time, reach out, just continue to try to reach out. Remember, you can't, you never know.
All right, I think that's where we're going to end. And honestly, I think that's where I ended. I don't think I've seen the rest. So if there's anything that you guys remember towards the end, let me know. If not, I'll just go ahead and watch it. And if there's anything I want to address, then I will. Breaking news, Freddie Lynn, Scott from Harbor Lounge and I are doing a show Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on the Minifan Network. That's awesome. Please report. Awesome. So I can take a night off on Wednesday. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Freddie Lynn. Thank you. That's awesome. I think I actually got a text message as well. Yes, big news. But of course, he doesn't tell me what the big news is. He just says big news. Scott. All right. So, any questions? Anything fuzzy? Anything contradicting? I don't know. Anything I need to address? I think we hit it all pretty well. It is what it is. I'm ready for it to be behind me. I don't appreciate how she has sort of latched on to Katie, and she's supporting Katie, and now Katie is latched on to Abby and Purple, and that's a little shady if I say, myself, but it's her own choice, I guess. Yeah. Tara, is Oceans out of our lives for the rest of eternity? You know, I don't like saying never, right? I don't know. I don't know. Just seems like a lot of damage has been done. So, you know, and I think we were talking, was it Jess's show or J7? I think it was J7. She was saying from the very beginning, her and Jess didn't have a good feeling about it. And I have to admit, I didn't have a good feeling about it as well. However, I had never done this before and I was willing to give it a try. And she was the only one. Don't quote me because Scott also approached me, but I gave Jill the priority because she came first. But I was willing to give it a try and just see how it worked out, you know? And we did. We did. And I've always said this, like I knew it wasn't going to be forever. Like I was being very realistic, you know? But I was willing to give it a try and I did, and I have no regrets. So, yeah, it is what it is, you know, and also I think Jill probably, you know, does have a certain personality. And oh, so there was one thing that we didn't talk about. I probably fast forward through it. She mentioned her kids, and that really bothered me. She said that her kids said that they couldn't believe why I was doing this. And that her kids had gotten to know me. And, you know, when we weren't streaming, we were, you know, hanging out or whatever on our off time, working on the channel or whatever. And they had gotten to see me, I guess, on camera. I don't know, something to that effect. Well, number one, there's only one of her children that live at home. The other one lives in Chicago, and the one in Chicago I never spoke to, and I'm pretty sure he didn't support the YouTube channel. And in my defense, I feel like they do have that reaction, like, why is she doing this? Because they don't know the other side of the story. If they did, maybe they'd have a different opinion. It was nothing deliberate. It was nothing manipulating. It was nothing evil. It was just pure, not a good team, not a partnership I wanted to continue with. And I was willing to move on civilly and help her as much as she needed and support her in her future legal whatever endeavors. And something happened. Kind of have a feeling it was Katie, because that's when everything went awry. And I have yet to speak with her to talk about it. So, all right, I will end it there. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully Spicy Missy will be back tomorrow so she can finish up her truth journey. I'll watch the rest of this. I really don't want to do a part 2, honestly. I think we, you know, covered it pretty well. But we'll see. We'll see what's out there. All right, guys, have a good night. I am going to redirect you to J7. So let me just make sure they're not like finishing their show right now. All right, they're talking about Baker and Valhalla, so I'll just go ahead and send you off, and I'll see you there. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's see. What shall we play? Oh, bug. Yes, the bug video. All right, good night.
I feel like I just... It's time to murder. Woo! Oh my God. I don't. Somebody just said it was in my hair and I believed you. Stop it.
It's in the Portuguese section, but it's, oh my God. Fuck all of you. Fuck each and every single fucking one of you. Fuck all of you. I can put it outside. It's dead.